you're a singer and you find yourself singing out of tune now and then, and that's super frustrating for you, keep on watching. In this video, I'm going to tell you different reasons why you might be singing out of tune and how to fix it. My name is Jorgelina. I am a vocal coach and a singer from Auckland, New Zealand. Singing out of tune is super frustrating, and not only for beginner singers. This happens to people that has been singing for a while as well. And it has nothing to do with natural talent. In fact, natural talent, as I said, there are many different reasons why you might be singing out of tune. And the first one is musicality reasons. If you ever met someone who comes from a family of musicians or that they've been learning piano from a very young age, you probably find that they have a very good pitch. And that is because the connections between the larynx and the part of the brain that process pitch happens when you are very young. So if you grew up in an environment in which music wasn't too present, or you didn't have an access to many different kinds of music, then you're not going to be developing that, and singing and pitch is going to be harder for you. It doesn't mean that it can't be developed. This is actually something that I find interesting, how so many people, just because they didn't have that when they were children, they just give up and they are like, oh, I don't have any talent. No, it's not talent, it's the connections are not there and they have to be there. So how to fix that? Listening to a lot of music and singing a lot, hearing yourself, starting to develop that connection from an older age. It is totally possible, and it is nothing wrong with starting later. There is nothing wrong with not starting at 5 years old. So if you struggle with this, let me know in the comments why you think it might be. I would love to hear about you. Now, the second reason why you might be singing out of tune, especially if you can hear that you are singing out of tune, it can be just technical reasons. And what do I mean by this? You produce the pitch when you are exhaling and the vocal cords resist that passage of air. That's when the primary vibration is produced. But if that vocal closure is not precise enough, then you can have some out of tune little things. The way you close your vocal cords can make you sing out of tune. In an ideal phonation, you will be exhaling and the vocal cords will close at the same time, and that's when you get this clean tone. But if you close your vocal cords before you exhale, then you're gonna have kind of a hard vocal attack like this. And when you do that, can make you sing out of tune as well, because you just don't have enough control of how the vocal cords are closing. So that can make the pitch not be too precise, especially at the beginning. Same idea if you tend to push your voice too much, especially when you go higher. But if you start going higher and you keep on pushing your voice like this, the more you overuse external muscles, the less control, and that can be another reason. Same idea if you go to that bridge in which you have to switch to more of a high resonance and you don't make the switch, then you're going to be singing out of tune. Either flipping or pushing your voice, the tone is not going to be precise, and not only in the bridge but also leading to that and probably above the bridge as well. So those are the technical reasons. And how do you fix this? Well, by training your voice. And I'm going to talk about the different singing methods in another video, but for now, just so you know, there is no one good method. I know that some singing teachers and YouTubers say that we teach the right way to teach, but there are no right way. There is just different ways. Some ways are more healthy than others and more scientific than others, but there are many, many different ways to get to a result. In general, vocal techniques, especially the new vocal techniques, are more healthy than no technique at all. So training your voice from technique, it will be really good. In fact, if you are interested in learning technique for complete beginners, go to the description below, because I am about to release my introduction to vocal technique course, and it actually includes 2 video feedbacks by me, so it is a really good way to get started. I'm going to do a pre-sale very soon at a very special price, so if you're interested, go ahead and subscribe to my email list and you're gonna be notified about that very soon. Let's continue though. The third reason why you might be singing out of tune is depending on the environment. What do I mean by this? If you are used to only singing in your room and you think you sing in tune and you record yourself and you are hearing yourself good, then you go, for example, to a bar and you sing karaoke or an open mic or in a rehearsal room, and you might feel that you are singing out of tune there. It can be because you are hearing yourself from a speaker. So if you are used to hear yourself from the same room, from the same resonance, and then you hear yourself from a speaker, that will make it very different. And the way you fix that is by doing it a lot and by recording yourself a lot. So those are 3 of the reasons why you might be singing out of tune. And as you can see, all of them are fixable. If you like content like this, go ahead and subscribe to my channel because I have a lot of content like this and I post very frequently. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you in the next one.